Joker is the standalone Joker film directed by Todd Phillips and stars Joaquin Phoenix as Arthur Fleck, a failed stand-up comedian and clown in 1981 Gotham City, who slowly turns insane during a series of events that pushes him further and further into a life of chaos and anarchy, eventually turning him into the frightening legend known as the Joker. Like everybody else, I was extremely excited for this film because it's a Joker film, but more so because of the approach they were taking with it, a gritty, dark character study about how a guy becomes the Joker. And walking out of this film yesterday, I was stunned. What this film is, or the way I saw the film at least, is a tragedy. It's the tragic story of this guy who, although he does have a mental illness and he's definitely not right in the head, he is a well-meaning enough guy. Because Arthur Fleck at the beginning of this film, even though he does have that damage and he does have the mental illness and the problems, he doesn't want to be a bad person. So he doesn't set out to become the Joker, it's just the society that he lives in is so disregarding to people like Arthur who live in poverty that he just gets to a point where he can't take it anymore and he starts embracing the chaos and embracing the anarchy. And the way they set up Arthur at the beginning as that well-meaning but damaged guy, it made me feel sorry for Arthur, and every time society just continues to beat him further into the ground, it just made me feel sorry for him even more. The series of events that lead to Arthur's downfall are so brilliantly orchestrated, it's just pain after pain, suffering after suffering, that when you get to the end of the film and he finally dons the Joker makeup and the costume, you really feel like you have just watched a guy just lose touch with everything, and he's not the same person anymore. He starts the film off as Arthur Fleck and he ends it as the Joker. Arthur Fleck is no more. It is fantastic storytelling, but all of this doesn't matter and it doesn't resonate if you don't have a good enough actor in the lead role, and thankfully they got Joaquin Phoenix, and he is every bit as incredible as you've heard he is. He is just so masterful of an actor. He is so creepy and so unsettling. There are quite a few times where his performance gave me kind of goosebumps and it got my heart racing a little bit. There's this one scene especially towards the start of the film where he's talking to the guy who runs the clown shop, and the guy's talking to him and you can kind of hear the voice of him muffling out as Arthur's just smiling at him but not really, taking into account what he's saying. And it's just Joaquin Phoenix's facial performance with the smile, and you can just tell so many cogs are turning in there. It was just masterful. Again, he's just such an incredible actor, one of the best working today, and I'm so happy that he took this role and he just made the entire thing resonating. He makes you feel sorry for Arthur, and he also makes you not condone Arthur's actions as he further becomes the Joker. Just give him the Oscar now. Might as well. And that's the thing that everybody's all up in arms about with this film, is the Joker being the main character and doing some really dark, really disturbing things, and basically saying that the film makes him out to be the good guy, that he's justified in doing what he's doing, and it's going to inspire shootings and people becoming murderous psychopaths as well. No. This film does not portray Joker as the hero at all. Not once does this film say, yes, Arthur Fleck is completely justified in becoming this murderous, creepy psychopath. It makes you understand why he becomes the murderous, creepy psychopath, but it's not endorsing his actions as the path to take. It is a cautionary tale if ever there was one. This is saying, no, do not do this. If you are suffering from Arthur's problems, not just the mental health problems, but living in poverty and feeling like society doesn't care about you, do not take this path. It empathizes Arthur Fleck, but not the Joker. It's like any other great villain in other superhero films or films in general, where it explores their states of mind, and we get to understand their perspectives, but never once condoling their actions or their approaches. The only difference being that the villain is the main character of the film, and we're following the villain, and it's an origin story for the villain about how the villain becomes the villain. And all villains come from somewhere. Something had to have happened in their earlier lives that made them become the villains they end up becoming, and thus that's why this film is a complete cautionary tale tragedy, and an absolutely captivating and enthralling one at that. And all the feelings that you experience during Arthur's downfall are further amplified by the music. The musical score is haunting. There is one track especially called Bathroom Dance or something like that. Every time I've listened to it since yesterday, it just further resonates the complexities of the film for me. It was like the theme of the film for me because they play it quite a few times throughout the film. I think it was that track at least. Also, the actual music choices were quite good as well. A lot of upbeat music, which at first was a little jarring because it plays upbeat music coming off of a really dark moment, but I quickly caught on as to what they were trying to convey, and it was a perfect reflection of the Joker's psyche because he finds the really dark, horrible things funny. and I thought that was really well done with the music choices. Speaking of those dark moments, a few of them did actually quite catch me off and make my jaw drop, because I wasn't expecting certain moments at certain times, and the level of graphicness of some of the dark moments. I mean, really effective, really unsettling, and really nerve-wracking. The entire finale of this film, my heart was pounding out of my chest because you're just waiting for it. That's all I'll say. I'm not going to ruin anything, but I was on the edge of my seat, and wow, it was effective. I love this film. I kind of understand why people might be a little divided on it because of some of the violence and what they could interpret from it. But again, I saw this film as a tragedy. The tragic story of a guy's downfall into chaos, anarchy, and insanity. And in the process, we got an intense, haunting, riveting, enthralling, and captivating psychological thriller, and one of the better origin story films that I've seen in quite some time. I hope this film opens the doors for more kind of comic book films like this, and just more films that give us complex stories and complex characters like this. I absolutely loved Joker. It ticked all the boxes for me, it did everything that I wanted it to do and more, and you know what? It's happening. I'm gonna give Joker a 5 out of 5. Again, I'm just stunned. One of the best films I've seen this year. Thank you very much for watching as always, guys, and the obvious question is, what did you think of Joker? And also, which villain, be it DC or Marvel, do you want to see them do a film for next? Whatever your thoughts are, tell me down there, and if you want to see more of my stuff, click on one of these in a second, and I'll see you all next time.